I don't know. They still believe in the illusion. So this is the stock of Okta. And I saw these two giant double tops. Even on the weekly, it even looks more profound. And I thought it was very unlikely that the market was going to exceed this. And so every time, it came up, I would short some more and try shorting it, and, it ended up losing money. And then you can see in 3 days what this was saying, a year ago. In 3 days, this thing comes tumbling down. So it's just amazing how the market spends so much time going up, and then in literally 3 days, it's gone. And so, this to me is, unless you're an Apple or Microsoft, which are, stocks that have grown to the sky and probably will continue to do so, to design long-term portfolios to me is really tricky because, like I said, you can just spend years and months going up, and then in 3 days, it gets taken back. So this is Okta, and all of these, kind of cybersecurity. These were the hot things when we got cyber attack. So these things, like they're fads. The market decides they're hot until all of a sudden they're not. So this is CrowdStrike, another cybersecurity thing. Ran up on all of these scares, that, we were being hacked and this is the way to go. But, puts on this classic double top, and then, very quickly it gives back several months worth of work. And so you've got tons and tons of stocks now that look so bearish. You have the index is just a hair off the all-time highs, and then these stocks. So this is kind of a double top. Head and shoulders, you don't even see the right shoulder. So we may just put a small one on here, but it looks like all of these stocks are going to continue coming down. The problem is, look how much they've coughed up already. So the question is, what do you do with these things now? I mean, where they indicate they're going to go lower, but a good portion of the move's kind of been had. You're at somewhat of a support area, so you just got to kind of watch and just wait for. I don't even expect it to be a big consolidation here before it starts going back down again. So we have just company after company that, looks like this. Teladoc, Roku, all of these things that I've been putting on the radar for the last couple of weeks. This is Teladoc making all-time new lows, and there's not a bid in sight. This thing is just going to keep going lower. And, it's broken this neckline now. And so any bounces, you just got to, short these things. This is Roku, also looks terrible. So all of these companies have put on these reversal patterns, and, the pattern is the story. So many times we hear this narrative, these stories. I was telling you yesterday about this guy, Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, guy's multi-billionaire. Sometimes you wonder how these people make money in the first place, because they're still, I find them so, I don't know, they still believe in the illusion. Last week, Kevin O'Leary, before, 2 or 3 days before the Zoom earnings call, he was saying, you've got to buy the stock. This is when the stock was at 250. And, he cited all of these things. And if you're just, a cerebral person, sitting back, watching TV, listening to another so-called smart guy tell the story, he was saying how this is a new telco, a new form of telecommunications, what have you. He spun this great yarn, and he said, I would buy it into earnings and what have you. And so, the chart is the story. Price is the news. It was the same thing with Beyond Meat, where all the way down, we heard all of these great strategic announcements by the company, that they were put a new strategic marketing relationship in Ireland. Then they did a school lunch program in Canada. And then they did a deal with McDonald's. And then the next week they were doing a deal with Kentucky Fried Chicken and Yum Brands. But meantime, price kept going down. So the only thing, price is the news. Price is the story. you know, my wife loves to take, investments, and she has much of a more of a long-term view the way most people do. And I tell her to get out of these things, and she goes, but it's a great company. And I go, there are no great companies. There's just price. And so, yes, there are great companies. I mean, Apple is a great company, and it's going up, and it'll probably go up forever. And that is a real company. But even, that story looks like it's getting tired. You have this, appearance of this first reversal here, Amazon. So it looks like the market's had a hell of a run. So Amazon's at this top area, and we have to see how it plays out up here. It's playing with a major breakout, but it's also in a major resistance. So there are a handful of companies that have been driving these indexes, the NVIDIAs, the Microsofts, the Googles, the Apples. And that's why the index is at an all-time high. But underneath the hood, there's just been all kinds of carnage where companies are down 50, 70% and look like they're even going to go lower. So you can see, 45, it's 1.3 million.
$1.3 million short.
So pop out a profit for 118,000 there. So you can see how this is going crazy now. You can see how the market's just going nuts. I bet like $1.6 million on this position. I'm showing right now $23,000 gain.